Hello, and thanks for joining the Walt Weekly Podcast. My name is Walter Latham Sr., and I'm here with Sergeant Ernest J. Robinson. Thank you for being here, Ernest. And I'm also here with our co-host, Miss Bridget Stokes. Thank you, Bridget. Today we want to talk about with the team, with the Walt Weekly team here, about what's going on in politics. There's a lot going on. We try to refrain from, stepping into politics because the Walt Weekly is basically apolitical. So we don't recommend any party, whether it be Republican or Democrat. There's an exceptional situation, somewhat unique and historic, in the fact that this election is going to be a pivotal moment in our history as a democracy, or so-called democracy. So with that said, we want to talk about Kamala Harris, her rise to the forefront, and she's even leading Trump by a couple of points, which doesn't mean anything right now. And we want to talk about some other things, such as the war in Gaza and Ukraine, and how it impacts our people, our folks, our Black community. How does it impact us? All right, so with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Sergeant Robinson. We're going to start. Ernest,
Yeah,
talk to me.
each week goes by, there's always something very, very much interesting that is happening. And with, being apolitical in this particular scenario, talking about both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, but as you alluded to, the rise that Kamala, took in stepping into the space of the presumptive nominee and now officially the nominee for the Democratic Party. A lot of people have kind of taken exception to that because it wasn't precedent the way that it occurred and the way that it happened. But I think that overall that it happened the way that it needed to happen. And I think in contrast, like I've had a lot of debates with people over the past couple of weeks, especially the past 2 weeks, about, well, it compromised democracy, or, she did this or she did that. And at the end of the day, my thing is, okay, well, what's the other person doing? And how is that going to actually work out to be better for the entire country? So you got to kind of let me know where you want to start at. Because like I said, there's a lot of meat on this bone.
We already started, so you go ahead.
Like, where we want to kind of where we chew at first. We want to get lean and mean, chew a little bit on the fat here and there, like where we want to kind of tackle this brisket here, so to speak.
Well, I tell you what, like you said, there's so many ways to cut up this turkey.
Yeah.
Right. So I tell you what, let's slice off with the convention, the Democratic convention, and Kamala taking on the mantle.
Yeah. So the convention was, I think, very different, amazing. I think in many cases, the number of speakers, powerful speakers that were there. I think traditionally, a lot of the new up-and-coming rising stars of a political party are typically featured during conventions. So being able to hear Governor Westmore, Senate candidate also Brooks, from Maryland, little job. It was jam-packed full of, there was a lot of enthusiasm. There was a lot of excitement. I think that coverage-wise, I think Governor Walz, I believe VP Harris spoke very poignantly about the issues that they're going to be tackling, about their level of excitement about stepping into this particular role. I think they did a good job of comparing and contrasting their styles and what ideally what America is going to look like under basically a continuation of the current administration, but the changes that's going to happen under a Harris administration. And so, I think all in all, I think the convention was good. What do you think?
Yeah, Bob, what do you think?
Uh,
Bridget.
I agree 100%. I watched it every night, and I grew up watching these conventions, and they were boring back in the day. But I agree 100%. It was exciting, it was informative, and it captured. I felt like personally, it captured the young folks, the young voters. I always say the ones that's been voting for years, we're going to come out and vote. But the main target to me was some of the younger ones. And they think, from what I've seen on social media and checking TikTok and all these social medias, the young people was on it. I mean, they were enjoying it. They were into the speakers. And that's the important part, is how the messenger carried the message, the message.
Absolutely.
So I thought the way they did it to target our younger people was excellent myself. Of course, the other side's going to be negative, but that's to be expected. And then in some certain news broadcasts or the other side of the other party, I put it that way. But I would say the speakers would, I mean, you could take away things that they said, and that's the important, being able to take away the message and it sticks with you. So I agree 100%.
Yeah, I do too. I think it was somewhat of a coup the way they pulled it off, though, because old man Joe, Uncle Joe, and he was just gone, man. There's no way you could roll back time. There's no way. And he did an honorable thing of stepping down or passing the torch on to Vice President Harris. I think that was great. All right. Now, my question is, do you anticipate, I know there will be some situations where there's going to be some negative news generated on Vice President Harris. It has to be. But the way I look at that is that Trump has essentially put up a barrier for any type of rumors. He did this, and look at all the things that he has done. I mean, if she could just let it roll off her shoulder, because he set a precedent as a liar, a cheater. I mean, the guy is a thief. Now, I'll say that now. He's a thief. I mean, I'm from New York. Not from New York. I'm from North Carolina, but I didn't been in New York 50 years. So I know the type of person he is. Okay? And people in New York know the type of person he is. Except out here in Long Island where I live, they still, behind the times. But I can understand that. I've been out here a long time, 32 years, as a matter of fact. But there's nothing they can bring up on Harris I'm quite sure they're going to come out of the woodwork with something they found on her. But all she had to do is say, nope, wasn't me. That's it. All right? That's what Trump does. I didn't say that, even though you got on camera for a month ago saying it. All right? So I'm not worried about that. Okay? And I think she's been vetted well enough to be VP. So she definitely can be a president of the United States. And she's a good example for my granddaughters, y'all, and my great-granddaughter, y'all. So it's all good for me.